Hey there Pokemon fans, Fodgerman 101 here with a Scrappy Skirmish bonus match for you. So these are recorded on free battle while I was practicing with the team. Wasn't planning on putting any of these up onto the channel, but there's some really good fun battles in here, so I thought, you know what, why not? Why not? So we are up against General Gibby, who is bringing with Aggron, Dragonite, Greninja and Malamar. So three very scary mons and one we don't see very often. Malamar's quite an interesting one. It's got some interesting typings, and I think it's only got 1 times 2 weakness if I remember correctly, which is Bug. Obviously Mega Aggron is bulky and can hit really hard. Greninja is super fast and can be a range of different things from physical to special. And Dragonite is a complete pain in the butt with Marvel Scales, Weakness Policy, Dragon Dance and all that fun and shenanigans. We're bringing with us Elron, Melodic, Battlecat, Arcanine, Metagross and Trickles, Conkeldurr. So we're opening with Elron and Battlecat, just because obviously physical attackers, quite a few of them. So getting Intimidate off at the start, we figured it would come into clutch. So we're going to open up with our 2 walls again like we did in the previous matchup. It's quite a nice lead, although they're a little bit on the slow side. It gives us an opportunity to soak a hit up and do a bit of scouting. We're going to see the Greninja open, which I kind of expected. Wasn't expecting the Malamar though, and unfortunately we're going to give it an stat boost due to the Intimidate and its contrary. So we're going to withdraw Arcanine because I'm pretty sure there's a water type move incoming at this time. We're going straight into Conkeldurr. Greninja's actually going to set up Toxic Spite and change itself into a Poison type. So we see it's Protein Greninja, which we kind of half expected, which makes it even trickier to do. If we're going to Icy Wind off now, I know this would give the Malamar a speed boost, but I wasn't too worried about that. What I really wanted to do was slow this Greninja down, because one of the key things with Greninja is its speed. And we're going to see Malamar set a light screen up, so that's a bit of a problem for us. That is definitely a bit of a problem. However, it does mean we're going to get Conkeldurr's going to come in for pretty much for free right now and get its Flame Orb kick in. So we've activated our Guts boost. We're going to see Water Shuriken come through on the Greninja. It's not going to do, I mean, it's neutral, but it's not really doing that much. How much is it doing? 9. You need it 3 times. So Super Power is probably going to hurt though from the Malamar. Yeah, that does a lot more. That's looking like a 2-hit KO in regards with the Water Shuriken. We're going to get a Scald off. Just target the Greninja down, just to get some damage off on it, figuring it probably changes types and become neutral, but it doesn't. We're going to get a nice Drain Punch off on the Malamar though, which is looking like a 2-hit KO. Definitely a 2-hit KO. We're going to take some burn damage though, which isn't great. And we're going to see Water Shuriken again from the Greninja. So, we're going for Mach Punch with Conkeldurr now, starting to the Malamar, because I figured we'd probably get outsped by it. And the Greninja at target just down this turn, because it saw how much Drain Punch would do. So I wanted to make sure we got some damage off on this thing. So yeah, so Drain Punch is going to do a decent amount of damage. We're going to see another Super Power come through. Mach Punch, sorry. That is going to take Conk out, unfortunately. So Chuckles is going to go down. However, he's done some decent work for us. That Mach Punch there is probably going to come in clutch for us. It enables us to go for a Scald onto it with Melodic, so doubling into this thing to get it up out there. It doesn't quite pick up the KO because of the light screen, but we do get a burn, unfortunately, for my opponent there. That is going to drop the Malamar. So 30% chance. We'd already done 1, so we're going to get 1 sooner or later, to be fair. We can send Dragonite come through. So this thing's a problem. I hate dealing with Dragonites. We're going to straight up Scald it so we don't just get some damage off, don't get any Weakness Policy activated, damage break, it's multi-scale. We're going to Mega Evolve and Protect with Metagross. Just while we try and deal with this Dragonite, at least get started dealing with it. We can see Night Slash from Greninja. He's not targeting Metagross down, which was a surprise. He's actually going after Melodic, which isn't going to do too much. And we see a T-Ride there from the Dragonite onto Metagross trying to slow it down. So it's a good job we protected. That Scald's going to do absolutely nothing because it's resisting the light screen. But we do snag another burn. Yeah, sorry, Gabby. But Elron putting in some work today. I'll take it on the Dragonite though. Quite happily take that on the Dragonite. So we see burn damage rack up. We're just going to get a nice Meteor Mash off now. Multi-Scale's broken. It's burnt. It's only hit for neutral. It's going to do a decent amount. We're going to see Night Slash from the Greninja now. And again, targeting Melodic down and not going after the Metagross. Probably because he T-Raved it. That would make sense. Although I'd probably target it down with the Greninja myself just to get it up out. We're going to get a nice Toxic off on this Greninja though. So we're going to start wearing this thing down quite a lot now. And just stick it on a timer. If it comes down to Milotic versus Greninja 1v1, we'll win this Store War every single time because we get recovery and he doesn't. Dragonite's going to take burn damage. We're just going to straight up Bullet Punch it. Because Bullet Punch should pick up the KO. There we go. And we're going to see Night Slash from the Greninja come through onto Metagross, which isn't going to do too much, but then it is -1 courtesy of Arcanine. So we are going to get our free recovery off there in Milotic, which is nice. So that puts us back up to 4. And we're going to see some more the toxic damage really starting to rack up now on this Greninja. And out comes the big boy himself, Aggron. So, and a nice shiny Aggron. Yeah, I love the shiny Aggron. Look at his green eyes. It's really cool. Really, really cool. We're going to see it Mega Evolve. So it's going to turn into a Transformer. Some sort of Decepticon. So Mega Eggron's on the field now. We're going to see Night Slash from the Greninja. That is going to target down Metagross. And it's going to pick up the KO because it's a crit. I do think that crit mattered because the first one didn't do that much. So that definitely mattered. Never mind. We're going to get scored off anyway. To be fair, we've had some luck. So we're going to see Fire Punch on the Aggron. I'm assuming that was targeting down Metagross and not Milotic. So we'd have probably lost Milotic, Aggron Metagross that turn anyway to that combination. It's not going to do too much for our on though. And we're going to see Toxic damage really starting to take its toll. So this Greninja really is now on the timer. I think 2 more turns, it's probably gone. So we're going to bring Arcanine out. We're going to pick up top poison from the Toxic Spikes, unfortunately. However, we are going to intimidate this Aggron and nerf its attack. And we're going to intimidate the Greninja even more. So it's now -2. This Water Shuriken, although super effective, is going to do absolutely nothing now at -2. There we go. So it does 85 to 73. Yeah, absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing there. That's 12, is it, I think? About 12. Hit 4 times, doesn't matter. And we're also going to get a nice Will-O-Wisp off here onto the Aggron. So this thing's now -2 with burn, and we've got a -2 Greninja on the field. We can just keep going for scalds now. Pretty much don't even need to worry about this Greninja. We can pretty much ignore it. We'll have to take that, that's fine. Not a problem, -2, not going to do anything. It's going to take Rocky Helmet damage. So in a pretty good position right now. We should win this Store War now pretty much every time against these two. We've got recovery on both Mons. I don't think these two... Well, Aggron gets rest. It can be rest, sleep, talk, sect, which this potentially is, but we've not seen it yet. But that's fine if it is. It's still a 2-on-1. Light Screen's going to wear off as well. We're going to see Smackdown from Greninja. There's a move we don't see very often. It's quite not a good idea, actually. We've got to move on to it. So that's going to do really well onto Arcanine there. But we do get a nice Morning Sun off. So we're pretty much showing this guy right now. Look, mate. We're in the middle of a Stall Fest right here. I've got recovery on both my Mons. As far as Maria, you definitely haven't got it on the Greninja. And we've not seen it yet on the Aggron. We do see it on the Aggron as he goes for a rest. But it depends whether he's packing Sleep Talk or not, because he hasn't got a berry to wake himself up, so he's still not in the best of positions here. Toxic is easily going to take this Greninja out this turn for us. So Elron picking up a clutch KO there with that Toxic, which is great news for us. And down goes the Greninja. Arky's going to take some poison damage, but that's not a problem. And our opponent there is going to forfeit, as I think he realised at that point there wasn't a lot he could do. He was just going to get double teamed to death at that point in the matchup. So GG, some really interesting Mons on there, some interesting sets as well. So haven't seen Smackdown on a Greninja, so that's quite an interesting one, particularly on the physical Greninja as well. If you enjoyed that matchup, guys, please leave a like rating down below, or a comment. Always try to reply to any comments left on these videos. And if I don't see you around, I will see you on Battle Spot. Take care out there for now. Bye.